Hi everyone, this is Felix, admin on the forum again, and I'm always wearing the same thing when I do videos. I don't know why I do that. Anyway, summertime now. I just wanted to pick up on one comment that I was reading about the video uploaded, and people are saying your child really has to be interested and motivated. I need to clarify that. That's only half the story. So we know what doesn't work is when a child comes in and doesn't really know what they want, and sort of just, what do you want? Do you want this or that? They just do that, and they look to the mum or dad to answer the question. That's not a child that's very engaged in it. They're kind of ambivalent about what they want. Yeah, that's not going to help. We don't need a child to be 100% sold on it either. I just had one today. The one I uploaded actually was Ben. He's sort of 60% wanting to do this, shall we say. So we don't need a high figure. It's actually a bit less than that. What I want to say is this is what's needed for it to work. If a child doesn't really know what they want, they're kind of doing okay, why should they change? They're not ready, yeah? But wanting to change, as we know, is not enough either, yeah? People want to go to the gym. They pay £500 membership, they never end up going to the gym. Why not? Wanting is not enough. You've also got to engage with everything, yeah? So when a child wants something, it's also got to be backed up with engagement in the process. Now, the thing is, children, despite what I'm saying, they come here and they think it's going to happen by osmosis. They just sit here passively, just because they're here and I'm talking, they'll feel magically confident. It just doesn't work like that. I've said that like hundreds of times, literally, yeah? This is not surgery. This is an interactive process that I need them to work with me. If they know how to follow instructions, then the changes will follow. Yeah, it's really that simple in that regard. Sometimes when people want it to happen really desperately, that itself is part of the problem, because they're so desperately focused on wanting it, they're always somewhere else. They're not really listening to what I'm asking them to do. They're like, am I doing it right? Is it working? What I'm doing, what's going to happen? Am I doing it right? I really want it to work. They're somehow distracted. That's not really helping. Yeah. So we want a person to be able to focus on what's being said and not be somewhere else. And desperate people are somewhere else, people pleasers somewhere else, wondering if the dad or mum is going to be pleased and if they're doing it right. They're getting performance anxiety, so they're distracted. That's why skeptics actually really better, because skeptics, they're just listening, going, let's see, you talk the good talk, let's see what happens. They're able to actually listen to what you're saying. And I have really some of the best results with skeptics, because they're able to take in, and there's not interference from here, am I doing it right? I really want it to work, is it working yet? Have I done it right? All these things are really distracting. So I'd also say, I think I've said this before, there's no other therapy I'm aware of where if it doesn't work by one session, people say, oh, that's it doesn't work. You might need a second session. There might be other things going on that can't all be covered in one session. To sort of expect every child to take in everything that's said, understand and process in one session is a bit much. Sometimes they need two as a reminder. And you might say, well, the sessions are really expensive. Yeah, but my follow-up session is a lot less. Yeah, it's like 30 minutes, it's like £80 or something like that. So you don't need the full whole session again. You might need a reminder with a child. Yeah? So just wanted to say a couple of those things. So I have also got another video on, making sure your child is ready. So I repeat again, they have to want things to get better, not 100% sold. And they, on the day, they've got to engage with, certain simple instructions. But if they sit there hoping, when am I magically gonna, feel confident, they've missed the trick. I'm trying to explain that's not what I'm asking them to do. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. Yeah, and otherwise that's it. It's been a long day. Still got one more. And as I said, today I've seen 2 8-year-olds. Same process. One very confused, mixed instructions. So they didn't eat food because they're not saying what they're being trained how to say. But the other one did. It makes it easier when they do that. Yeah, if you can be able and willing to follow instructions, you get results. There's a lot of other anxiety, a lot of other chatter, distracting. Well, we kind of got to deal with that first. Yeah? So that's the thing with kids. Any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll catch up soon. All right. Thank you.